We are going to look at technology studies. Then under technology studies, our topic for today is drawing. Then under drawing, we are going to look at drawing of three-dimensional objects. Okay. People might wonder what are these three-dimensional objects is. Okay. Under this three-dimensional objects, we are going to look at the measurements. Okay. So the measurements that I'm talking about is the height, width, and the length. Okay. So we say, in other words, we can say a three-dimension object has three measurements. Okay, now what are those three measurements we are talking about? Okay, the three measurements we are talking about is the one, we have the height, we also have the width, and we also have the last one, which is the length. Okay, these objects we normally see them every day. Okay, so what are these objects? Okay, the example of three objects, have an example with me here. This is an example of a 3D object. Okay, if you look at this box here, when you put it at an angle like this one, okay, this part here, from here to there, this is the one that we are calling as the length, from here to there. Okay, again, also have another measurement, which is from down going up there, like this one, this measurement, we call it the height. Okay, on the other side again, here, from here to there, the other side, this length from here to there, this distance from here to there is the one that we are calling as the width. Okay, so these are one of the examples of a three-dimensional object. Okay, again, on the same three-dimensional object, we have three sides. Okay, get me correctly, I said three measurements, which is the length, height, and the width. Okay, and again, we have again the sides of this same three-dimensional object. Okay, where we have the top part, which is this one. The top part is called the plan of an object. We also have this side here, this face. This face is called the front part of an object. Okay, again, on the same object, we already said we have three sides. So we have the plan, which is the bird eye view, which is the top part of an object, the front part of an object. We also have the side view of an object, or in other words, we can say the end view of an object. Okay, so we can say it is very easy. It is easy to draw a three-dimensional object because we usually draw on a flat surface. Okay, why am I saying it's very easy to draw these three-dimension object on a flat surface. Okay, these are 3D dimension objects. These are three-dimension object can show different projection, or we say views on of an object. Okay, so we say this 3D dimension drawing can show different projections. Okay, so an example of these projections, again, on under the projection, the views, how we see these things, or how we, at which angle do we view these same objects. Okay, on this projection, we have the two most common projections. The first one, we say the most common projection are isometric, projection, isometric projection, and orthographic projection. Okay, so these are the only common projection that we normally draw these three-dimension object. Okay, some people might wonder what a dimension mean. Okay, a dimension is simply means a measurement. Okay, so we say a dimension it means measurement. Okay, all the objects have got measurements. Okay, to be called an object is talking about measurements. All the objects have measurements. Okay, so in technology, this technology, that's why I brought in this idea of talking about the three-dimension objects, because these three-dimension objects, it gives a clear picture about the things that we see around us. And what are those those objects that we see around us? Okay, this three-dimension object can help someone to understand how things are constructed. Okay, remember we have different buildings that are constructed. Okay, so for those buildings to be constructed, they look at the measurements. Okay, they look at the measurement, how the same building is going to be constructed. Now, how are they going to look at that? For them to come up with a correct thing, or for them to come up with something attractive that people can appreciate when they happen to look at it, they consider the length, the height, also the plan, the width, as well as the front and the end side of that building. Okay, with me here, I'm going to draw an example of how these three-dimension objects are drawn on a surface. Okay, it can be a paper or any flat surface. That's where these three-dimension objects are drawn from. Okay, so I'm going to try to show a simple illustration here so that people can understand it correctly. Okay, this is an example of a three-dimension object. Okay, so again we are going to do this so that we show all the sides of this object. It's not on the box which can be drawn like this. there are different objects that can be drawn like this under 3-dimension object. Okay. I'm sure everyone can see how I've drawn it. Okay. So the way I've drawn it, I explained using the real thing. Now here I've drawn it on the surface so that people can understand nicely that on the surface also you can still draw the same object on the flat surface or any paper. So first of all, I talked about here, this one and this one. Okay. So the way I've pointed the arrows, this one is the one that I said the length. Okay. This one is the one that I said the width. Then the other side, the other distance is the one that I said the height. Okay. So the figure or the object has been drawn on a flat surface. Okay. So the way, look at the way it is. From here to there, the same applies from here to there, from there to there, and the other part that you cannot see. Okay. The other part is hidden. Okay. It's hidden. So here, from here to there is length. Also from here to there is length. Again from here to there is length. Or even down there as we happen to bring it on this side. Okay. So here is length, here is length, here is length. Okay. Let's look at the width. From here to there is a width. From there to there is a width. Here to there width. Down there width. Let's look at now the height. The height of this an object. We have this one. From here to there is height. From there to there, and the other side which is hidden. From here to there down. If you happen to draw it using the hidden details lines, it will show that even that other side there is a height. Okay. Also from here to there is height. And this figure is drawn in an isometric projection. Okay. So the only projection where a figure can be drawn like this is isometric projection, where I can able to see here the top part here. We also have this part. Okay. So these surfaces, remember I said on the same object we also have 3 faces. Okay. What are those 3 faces I'm talking about? Or the 3 parts? Okay. The 3 parts I'm talking about, the part, the top part there, or in other words we can say the bird eye view. The top part is called the plan view. Again, here the part where you see you can able to see the length is called the flank part or the flank view. Okay. Again, on the same object where you can see the width and the height to the other side is the one we call it as the side view. Or sometimes it is called the end view. These are the endings of an object. Okay. This part where you can able to see clearly is the one we call as the front view. It's the front view of an object. Okay. Then the part which is called the bird eye view or the plan view is the plan of the object. If you happen to go up there in the sky, you able to see this plan view or the bird eye view, because that's why I'm calling it as a bird eye view. If you up, the birds are the one that flies up there. So the bird, when they look at an object, they view it on the plan view. Okay. So this is how the object is drawn on the isometric projection. Okay. So again, under the projections, we only have two types. I said we have the isometric projection and again the orthographic projection. This projection is coming from view. It means view, how you see something. Okay, so we have talked about isometric projection. Now we are going to look at the orthographic projection. Okay, I'm sure you have copied the notes from here. I'm going to draw orthographic projection from this side. Separate. I don't know, this space is not enough. Okay, separate figure will be converted to orthographic projection. It's very easy to draw these things if you just pay much attention without raising the seriousness of drawing it. Okay, so this figure is drawn first in isometric. Isometric. It has to be at an angle like this. Mostly it is drawn at a 30 degrees angle or a 60 degree angle. For you to see all these three sides, you have to draw it at an angle of 30. This angle here is more like a 30 degree angle. Okay, like this. Okay. It takes time sometimes to draw these figures because you need to show how this same figure to look like an isometric. Remember, in isometric we deal with the lines. So if the lines are not well drawn, it will give you a wrong figure. Let's do this. Sorry. Okay, so here is the figure, and on the same figure again we have the three sides and the three measurements. Okay, so the three sides I'm talking about here this part and this part. When you view a figure from the up sky, in the sky, the up there, you are able to see this part and this part. So this part and this one are called the plan view or the bird eye view. Okay, so this one is and this one, they are what? They are plan view. I will use the capital letters. The plan view. Okay, same applies to this part. So with this one here, the other one we use the side view as this side, but with this one the side view is this one. Okay, so its side view is this one, or the end view. The side view. Okay, okay, and again on the same object, we also have the flank view, where we can able to see an object from. Okay, so this one is called the flank view. Okay, so this one is called a front view. Then distance from here to there is the one we said is the length. This one from here to there, here to there, here to there, also here to there, and from here to there is called the height. Okay, so this, the other side on the as we draw the isometric projection, the other side we said this side view was that other side, which means since we have indicated here as the side view, it has become now here from here to there is a width, or from here to there width, here to there width, here to there width, even here to there is width. Okay, so we just use the arrow like this to point at this arrow. So this is width. Okay, now the way the figure is drawn, it's drawn on isometric projection. Okay, remember these two, they work together. You cannot draw an orthographic projection minus the isometric projection figure. Okay, so first of all, for you to come up with orthographic projection object, you need to start with the isometric projection object. Okay, so I'm going to rub here. I'm going to rub so that I draw orthographic projection objects. Okay, remember we said under orthographic projection, a figure is always shown in 3 separate views of an object. And again, another emphasis that I want to emphasize on this one. Remember, these objects are always given in millimeters. For example, the distance from here to there, they don't use other, apart from the millimeters, they'll never give you other readings. It's just millimeters or centimeters. But at our level, we'll just use millimeters. Okay, so the distance from here to there, they indicate normally in millimeters. Even the height, they show it in millimeters. Even the width, it is shown in millimeters. Okay, so we say measurements are usually, sorry, the marker, let me just use a different one. It's like it has stopped writing the way it's supposed to. Okay, so measurements are usually given millimeters. Okay, so while we are given the measurements, okay, as you are drawing this object on in orthographic projection, so example of orthographic projection object, example of graphic projection. Okay, so we're going to use the same figure, the same object which is in isometric projection. We are going to draw now separately under orthographic projection. Okay, so for us to draw this figure here so that it can be separate, you need to look at the measurements. Okay, remember this part which is front view, it has to be drawn separately, the plan view separately, as well as the end views. Okay, so we'll start with again, as you are drawing this, we have two angles, the perspective in short, at the perspective where a figure is drawn from. We have the two, which is called, the first one we have a first angle projection, and the other one is called third angle projection. Now with us, we are going to draw this isometric projection under orthographic projection using third angle projection. Okay, get me correctly on this one. Why am I going to use third angle projection? This third angle projection, a figure, we get the front part, the front part, we draw the front part on top, so it will be like this. We are going to draw the demarcation line here, which will demarcate the two sides. Remember, you have to divide the two. Okay. Again, you are going to draw like this. This one. I want to draw them separately so that they don't confuse us. Okay. So, when we draw first, I said we start with the flank, which is from here, this part here, this one, this part here is the one that we are going to draw there as our flank view side. Okay, so we are going to take it the way it is. It is like this. If you put it in a correct way, the way it is drawn, let me use a different color so that it shows the difference there. Okay, so I'm going to draw like this. Remember, it is like this. Okay, it is also like this. If you look at it nicely, it will show this part. Okay, so it is like this. Okay, we have dismantled one part from this figure or this object. So that part that I have drawn there is the one that we call as front view. Okay, we also have two remaining parts, or the two remaining sides. Okay, so again here we are going to draw again another line so that we separate the two, because they are not supposed to be attached, just have to be separate three. Okay, so if you look at the way it is, here now we are going to draw the other part, which is called the plan view. Okay, now if you look at the object the way it is, remember we said the plan view is the top part of an object. So if you look at the object the way it is, here is a plan, this part and this part. Now if you happen to look at this object as you are up in the sky there, this part, it will look as if it is in the same line with this part here. This one and this one, they will be in the same line, straight. So even when you are drawing there, you are going to draw it straight, but you are going to show the line which is this one. It will appear like they are in the same line, but if you look at front, you know that this part and this part, they are different. Okay, so we are going to draw it like this, and when you are drawing, you will consider the measurements. The measurements of this same object. Okay, so if you look at the distance from here to there and from here to there, the same as from here to there. So that figure or that front view which I have already drawn, will just extend the lines, these lines, bring it down. This line also here, you bring it down so that it can help you. Even here, if you look at it, this part, we said this part and this part, they will appear as if they are in the same line. Okay, so even here we are going to extend the same line, so it will be like this. Now I write these lines. Okay, so it's going to be like this. Okay, so it will be like this. Also, this line to be like this. Okay, so that's how you can view at a figure, or you can look at the figure when up in the sky. The figure, it look like this. It won't look like this one and this part, this one is down, this one is up. No, when you look up here in the sky, it will appear like this. This figure, it will be like in the same line. Okay, so that's why I have drawn this line to differentiate that this part and this part are in separate positions. Okay, so this one is down, then this one is up. But when you're up there, you're not going to look at them as if there's other one which is up, down, and the other one which is up, but they will appear like this. Okay, so this one is the one we said as a plan view. Okay, so under again we are going to look at to draw the end sides, or the side view of this object. Okay, so the side view of this object, again I'm going to do like the same. You are going to extend these lines. Extend like this. Also, this line here from here to there, it has to be extended to this side. Okay, again here I'm going to extend it. Okay, so now here, if you look at the figure the way it is, this part and this part, those are end sides. This one and this one, they are end side of this object. Okay, so since we have extended the lines, when you look at this figure, or this object at a far distance, this part and this part, they will look as if they are in the same position. This part, it will look like as if it is here. Okay? So even here in a drawing, that's why I've extended this line. So this part and this part, when you bring them as if on the flat surface, it will look at it as if they are only this in the same position. Okay, so let's draw them so that you understand what I'm talking about. They look like this. Okay. Okay, so I said if you happen to look at this object at a far distance on the inside or the side view of an object, this part and this part, they will look like this. They will look like this part and this part are in the same position. Okay, so here this part we said is a side view. So that's how the figure is drawn under orthographic projection. We said a figure under orthographic projection are drawn on 3 separate views. Okay, so this part here is on this one. If you look at this one, is this one and this one. We have just brought them together, connected together like this. This part and this one, this part here is the one that we said as a front view. Then the top part there, or the bird eye view, as you are up the sky there, you are able to see this part and this part. Again, you're not going to see them like the way they are, as if there's the other one up there and the other one down, but they look as if they are in the same position, which is this one and this one. Okay, so this is how the figures are drawn under orthographic projection. Some people might wonder, why are we learning this? Okay, these objects, or this method of drawing our objects, are important in real life situations when you are constructing. You cannot just construct a building like the way it is, but you need to put on a paper before it is built. Okay, so these they help as you are constructing anything that you are constructing. The people involved are the one, they come up with a plan of making how the front part will be, how the inside will be, or the side view will be, how the plan view will be. Okay, even in a grade 7 exam, remember a grade 7 exam, we have 3 components, which is the same as the one component is called creative and technology studies, and under this technology studies we have like 3 components. One, we have expressive arts, we have art and design, we also have technology studies, where we deal with the things that people that use in technology. Okay, so this same topic is from technology studies and the component of expressive creative and technology studies. Okay, so I have some questions that I'm going to leave you with so that you can do work on your own, so that as you are preparing for exams, you can be able to answer when those questions might come in an exam. Okay. Okay, I have only 5 questions that we are going to do at on your spare time. So this is an activity that we are going to work on. So the first one is, what is the other word for dimension? for dimension question mark. Number 2, what do we call an object that has length, width, and lastly the height. Okay, we have the third one. In an dash projection, the object is usually drawn as 3 separate views. In technical drawing, what are the most common projections used? Okay. The last one, which is the fifth, identify the following: plan view, plant view, and the side view from the object below or given. Okay, so I'm going to draw the objects that we are going to identify: plan, plant, and side view. So our object will be like this. I'm going to show the arrows, the parts that you're going to identify. This part, this part, and we say this part. Okay, so we are going to work on this at your own spare time. Okay, thank you viewers for being with me at this spare time. I hope you have enjoyed the lesson. I've been your teacher, Msonda Mamba, Technology Studies K4 Grade 7s. Thank you for your time. Bye.
Good afternoon, class. And these are examples of crops that we grow in Zambia and the livestock.
Look at our geographic expression.
Good afternoon, class. And these are examples of crops that we grow in Zambia and the livestock.
Look at our geographic expression.
Good afternoon, class. And these are examples of crops that we grow in Zambia and the livestock.
Look at our geographic expression.
Good afternoon, class. And these are examples of crops that we grow in Zambia and the livestock.
Look at our geographic expression.
Good afternoon, class. And these are examples of crops that we grow in Zambia and the livestock.
Look at our geographic expression.
Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome to GMF e-learning. My name is Mr. Chava, taking you in English, grade 7. So today we're still continuing on punctuation. Last time we looked at punctuation. So last time we looked at period, commas, and a question mark. So today we're going to continue on punctuation marks, because punctuation marks, it's not only a period, it's not only commas, it's not only a question mark. There are also other punctuation marks that you need to learn about. So last time we said that punctuation marks are signs such as a period, comma, and question marks. So they are used in a sentence to make the meaning clear. Okay, so punctuation marks are used in a sentence to make the meaning clear. So today we're going to look at apostrophe. Today we're going to look at apostrophe. We're going to look at apostrophe. So what is apostrophe? So an apostrophe is used with S to show who something belongs to. An apostrophe is used with S to show who something belongs to. Okay, so let's write an apostrophe is used with S, okay, to show who something belongs to. Okay, so we're going to look at a few examples. So I'll write a sentence. This is Michael's room. Okay, this is Michael's room. So I've used an apostrophe there, okay, to show that the room belongs to Michael. Okay, another example. This is my dad's desk. Okay, this is my dad's desk. So this sentence is telling us that this desk belongs to dad. Are we together? Then we're going to look at the last example. We'll say this dog's tail is very long. Okay, this dog's tail is very long. Okay, so the long tail belongs to this dog. Okay, so we'll move on. Also, an apostrophe is used to show where one or more letters are missing in a construction. Okay, an apostrophe is used to show where one or more letters are missing in a construction. Okay, so I will just write here. An apostrophe is used to show where one or more letters are missing. okay, in a construction. Okay, an apostrophe is used to show where one or more letters are missing in a construction. So we're going to look at a few examples. We're going to look at a few examples. Okay, example number 1. I am, okay, which shows that this A is missing in that construction. Okay, I am, for example, in a sentence, the boy who lives next door. Okay, we'll look at example number 2. In example number 2, we'll say she is, okay, so I is missing there. Okay, instead of writing she is, we construct this. So we use an apostrophe so that there's an I missing there. Okay, she is my best friend. Okay, we'll look at another example. Okay, he will, so since we said that an apostrophe can also be used to show where one or more letters are missing in a construction. So if you see there will, there is more than one letter. Okay, he will lend you his bike. Okay, we'll look at example number 4. He, number 4.
afternoon, class. And these are examples of crops that we grow in Zambia and the livestock.
We'll look at our geographic expression.
Good afternoon, class. And these are examples of crops that we grow in Zambia and the livestock.
We'll look at our geographic expression.
Good afternoon, class. And these are examples of crops that we grow in Zambia and the livestock.
We'll look at our geographic expression.